Hey everybody, we're back again. Really? Is he got to straighten his hair? He got to fluff his hair. He like, let me let me
Mm,
let me fix my hair. Make
you
sure my
know, like
baby hair is just popping. Let me make sure
you know,
everything's jiggy in here.
it is what it is. I'm feeling myself
But
today.
anyway, I see. Well, welcome to Unapologetically Dope with your hosts at the Real Tea Trust and
At Mr. Evo 84, Mr. Evo, aka the Fluffy Fellow.
so we are back again with episode 2 of season number Trey. Um, and yeah, the world is still ghetto.
Is ghetto even the word for it right now? I
I
kind
mean,
of,
Earth,
I kind of
Earth
feel
is so
like
ghetto.
I gotta feel like oh, that song, yo, I heard that song. Did you hear that song?
Yes, Earth is so ghetto. That's
And
why I
I
said,
was like, sis, you on to something.
like, I
You
mean,
on
it
to
really
something.
is. I saw somebody. I have survived the pandemic without downloading TikTok, but I
I
like to
can't I
watch.
can't clap for that because you're missing out on a lot of gems.
Listen, I'm not. I watch TikToks, but I'm not about to be on there making no TikToks. All these different challenges, I applaud all of y'all. My
Yeah, I ain't
inner,
got time
my
for it.
inner, my inner secular self would love to do the busted challenge. However, I don't have vibranium
Yo,
knees like Meg The Stallion, so I'm gonna
Tara,
just watch everybody else.
our ratings would skyrocket if you did the busted challenge. They would skyrocket if you did the busted challenge. Oh
Negative,
my gosh.
negative. You're not about
I'm
to
just
get me
saying
killed in
though,
these
like you
streets.
gotta, you give the people what they want.
In my Matthew Stevenson voice. Move
No.
around. Move around.
But listen,
Move around.
I've
Negative.
seen too many people do it and they fall, but they get like so many likes because they fell.
Right.
So it is what it is.
Nah, I'm good. I ain't got the Meg the Stallion vibranium knees straight from Wakanda. Nope. Not about to have me in the streets
That's all
looking
right. No,
crazy.
it's cool. Listen, when she get about 55,
Listen, the
she
arthritis gonna be real.
not only is that though, she gonna go get that. Well, by that time, she can go get them ultra super strength
Yeah, the
knees.
the bionic knees. She can get the knee implants.
They give her a little injection just so she can shoot the video.
Right. She be like, all right,
Lord,
time for them steroids in my knees. Gotta make it happen. But nah, I'm good. Like,
oh,
mm-mm. Only person gonna see a busted challenge from me is my husband. But anyway, so
oh Jesus,
um what's another challenge? Have you seen the that my first day as a hitman?
no. What?
Okay, so
The only challenge I've
you need to
seen is
see
the
that.
one where these women are making their husbands go into the store asking for feminine products that don't exist.
That one was funny because the dude
That's
went to the
trifling.
counter. Dude went to the
That's
counter.
trifling.
Dude went to the counter and he said they all on the loudspeaker asking.
Look, like for me, like okay, cause like, bruh, you don't Google it first. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like
You wouldn't have me out there like that. I would have
like you
Googled.
know what I'm saying? Like if it's babe, like I love you, babe, but I'm checking this out first. Like you're not gonna catch me going into the store asking people for something if I ain't Google it first. Sorry.
What was it? It was the Uchi, some kind of Uchi
It was
Wally
something like that. Uchi,
cream
I was like,
or
what the
something.
what?
I was like, wait a
Bruh, you
minute,
didn't
that don't
even know
even
that was a
sound right.
song?
I would have literally been like, I would have Googled it, and if I didn't see it on Google, I would have went back to the car and been like, they ain't have it, babe. I looked, they ain't have it. They sold out.
I wouldn't even did that. I would have been like, listen, I need you to go ahead and go around this corner right here because we about to go scrap. That's like when they had the pocketbook challenge, or when people, you smacking them in the face while you putting it in their back.
Yeah, I felt like that was too much because I was like, what
I'd have
happens when
cut
he mess
somebody.
around and he have a flashback and he bust you upside your head?
I'd have cut somebody straight up.
Like, so now it's not going. It's we don't watch the whole domestic violence dispute. because
TV.
you wanted to do the pocketbook challenge. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, no, I'm not going through all that. Sorry. Like,
Now we have someone in the comments. We're not gonna say who she's related to, but you guys can guess it by the last name. She said you're supposed to trust your wife.
man,
So
don't
why
get
you
out of
gotta
here with
Google and fact check it?
get out of here with that. If that if that is who I think it is,
It is.
get out of here with that. You trust and not being dumb are two different things. Cause I can trust
Listen,
you all that. I'm gonna use
there is
wisdom.
there's a statement that I learned last year around about October, November-ish from a great man of God who said, trust but verify. In all things,
Exactly.
trust but
Exactly.
verify.
I don't
So
want to
I
hear
ain't
it.
gonna hold you if you verify whether or not Uchiwali cream really exists.
That's like I mean that's like I said people do this to all right, so I'm gonna talk about me. As a
Hmm.
kid, your parents send you into the store for stuff, right?
Hmm.
And they were like, especially my parents have sent me into the store for stuff, thinking I was gonna get something in that store, but they got it from a whole nother store. And it
Hmm.
was like, I know it was in there. Well, if I had Googled it first, I wouldn't have wasted a trip. I would have saved us both a trip. So I don't even
That's
want to
true.
hear it. You
Because
gotta
now when you
Google.
Google stuff, you can click on shop and it'll tell you what
It
store it's in.
exactly. Exactly. Like, come on, you're not gonna get me caught up, bro. Like, no, sorry.
Can
I don't
you
care how
imagine the mortification on his face though when the lady grabbed the speaker and was like, "Can you check aisle 6 for Uchi Wally cream?"
yo, first of all, if he knew anybody in that store and
They're
they
like,
seen him
"Bro,
up
what's going
front,
on with your wife? Why she need
yeah,
Uchi
like,
Wally cream?"
and they're like, why? Like, bro, like, come on, really?
Really, it's the
I mean, there are
whole
limits.
situation.
There are limits to it. There are a lot of
Yeah,
limits to it.
yeah, that's crazy.
Oh,
So, what's another challenge? But the Hitman challenge. Let me explain the Hitman
yeah. Tell
challenge
me
to
how
you.
this works.
So, all right, the Hitman challenge is playing like this violin concerto where it's like on loop, right? And you're supposed to walk in, and it's your first day as a hitman. But for some strange reason, everybody first day don't go right. So, like, the lady goes in and she's supposed to be poisoning this guy's drink. She pours the poison in the drink, stirs it around with her finger, but like an idiot, takes the finger and tastes it.
And listen,
And she makes like maybe 2 steps before she laid out. Just doom. I was like, oh snap. And then the
see,
next one is
people getting too crazy with that.
right. The next one though comes in and it's a guy and he's a hitman. He comes in and he got a Walmart plastic bag. His target is sitting in the chair. He put the plastic bag over dude's head and he like, like he like really struggling holding his bag. And the dude just goes and just rips it open. And he like, did you really just try to suffocate me with a Walmart plastic bag? Everybody know Walmart plastic bags is flimsy.
It probably already had a hole in it.
Oh, thank you. Already had a hole in
It
it.
already had a hole in it. So
Already had a
wasn't
hole
much
in it.
happening.
Already had a hole
Man,
in it. So
mm-mm.
basically, it's just like everybody doing different hitman moves, but you know, not being good hitmen. So I think that one's really funny.
I like the
But yeah,
singing challenges. The singing challenges have been amazing. I don't know if you've been watching them on Instagram, but they have been killing it. Like, I love seeing
um,
people with these runs, these Jasmine Sullivan
yeah, the
runs,
riffs
and
and
all that
runs are
stuff. Like,
crazy.
it's ridiculous. Like, really?
There's
Oh,
Kim on Stage wrote a song for To Hear More, and everybody's been doing that one as a challenge. And the lyrics, I'm like, I don't see how y'all get through the first 2 sentences because the lyrics are so retarded. It says, I am short, I am small, my daughter's taller than me, I'm the slowest of them all. Like the song is just horrible. Because it
that
was like
man
a
ain't got
prank.
no sense.
Like, yeah, it's a prank that Kevin on Stage wrote for To Hear, but they are actually doing a challenge. And if your video is voted to be like the best one of the singing, you get $500. So hey, y'all that can sing, Go to Kevin
Go
on
make that
Stage's
money.
page. Go make that money.
Go get that free $1.
Get them free 500 for the to hear more song challenge. But yeah,
Yeah. No, thank you.
craziness.
I can't sing like
So
that.
yeah, I can't. I can run, but it's the
I
anointing
can
got to
run
be up
too,
there.
but I can't run vocally.
Lord, I meant vocally, not like down the street. The Bible says a wicked man runneth when no one chases him. So that's
Oh
why I
no,
don't be
somebody
running
probably be
nowhere.
chasing me. I ain't gonna
Yeah.
just run for no
So
reason.
yeah, I ain't gonna just be running for no reason. But if I need to run, I will definitely do what I got to do. Speaking of which, physical fitness in the year of our Lord 2021. We see you, Mr. Evo, on your fitness journey. I'm on one myself, trying to get myself together because I got somewhere to go, and I'm praying when I get there, I see everyone I know. I want to go to the gym. I want to go to the gym.
No, I'm not touching nobody's gym, but I'm gonna tell you like this right now.
I feel you. Corona's
I'm
real.
stuck. I'm stuck in this position until we're done. I went this morning to work out. I can't feel my legs right now. I don't know
can't
how
feel
I'm
my
making it.
legs on me.
It was so painful. And then I took my tonight. I did a daddy daughter date
Daughter.
night,
Oh, daddy
father,
daughter
however
date
you want
night.
to call it. But we
I
went
like the
out
D's,
to
the alliteration, daddy
yeah.
daughter date night. That's
So
cool.
we went to dinner. And I had to we had a good chase. We went to Chipotle. She had never been before, so that was cool. Got to experience that with her.
Oh
But
my
then
gosh.
after that, and I'm on a fast. I'm on a modified Daniel fast. So I've been doing that. But so then she wanted ice cream. Oh Jesus! And she got this big old one, and it's dripping all over the place. And I'm like, so then we went to go see her cousin for a minute, and she left it in the car with me.
Oh
I just had to
Lord.
start praying in the spirit. I grabbed my alkaline water, and it's a struggle. But I have a goal. I want to be more spiritually sound. I want to hear the Lord. I want to be able to move the way He wants me to move. But I also want to physically get rid of some stuff that's been holding me down physically. Because I want my knees to be good. I want to be able to run and jump and shout. I never shout. Maybe I shouted once in my life, but if ever the urge comes for me to shout, I want to be able to do it. So, because right now ain't no shouting. I might do a two-step. But I ain't putting all this
Here's
weight
the
on the
thing. I
knees.
feel like when the spirit hits you and it hits you, if the spirit is moving you, the spirit, you won't get winded in the spirit.
Oh, I'm not worried about the winded. Me and the spirit have an understanding that these knees ain't made for jumping. Not right now. Mm-mm. Brother, I gotta go upstairs to my room. I'm still trying to figure out if I want to sleep downstairs tonight or not. So, how's your journey going?
My journey is going well, as you know. Down several sizes, but okay. So I have a confession to make. I have a really bad sweet tooth, and I love bread.
And I can't have either one of those. So,
And those are both really bad things if you're trying to maintain weight or lose weight.
correct.
So I have to do it for I'm trying, and I'm using the fasting that we're doing as a corporate body in our church to kind of try and wean myself off of it. It's working for the most part. I be living for the weekend, like no lie. But for the most part, I mean, yeah, it works. It's working. Incorporated some exercise, which is always fun. Yeah, so it's working. It's going pretty
So,
well.
so tell us about the fast that your church is doing because you guys do some things a little bit different than others. So, tell us break that down for us.
Sure. So, okay, our church, we have people that have never fasted ever before a day in their life, and then we have people that are experienced fasters. So what we do is we do something where it's like a modified fast. And what I mean by a modified fast is we don't just tell people, hey, just take everything out of your diet. What we do is we wean them week by week. So the first week we're like, okay, no breakfast. You're going to do a light lunch. You're going to do dinner. Try to increase your fruits. Try to increase your vegetables. No alcoholic beverages. No, sweet teas, coffees, stuff like that. That would be like week 1. Then week 2, we transition you out of meats. Like, okay, so we're not gonna do no meats. We're gonna do lunch, dinner, veggies, fruits. Again, no alcohol, no teas, no coffees, no sugary stuff like that. And then week 3, we transition you to where it's like we only eat dinner. So no breakfast, no lunch, just dinner. And then of course we've only done this once or twice, but and then for week 3 we continue what we did in week 4 we continue what we did in week 3, but the last 2 days only agua.
And then you recycle again, or that's
And then you have to, well, if you're smart, what you do is you fast your way back up. So like you'll go back to vegetables, and then you'll incorporate a meat, and then you'll go back to your normal eating, because it's not wise to finish a fast
just jump back
and
into
then
it.
just jump back into a full meal, unless you want to be in the bathroom all night.
Listen,
That's between you and your God. But
Yeah.
I ain't got time for that. I don't like my stomach to hurt.
I remember back in the day, the ministry we were attached to at the time, every year we would do this. It was a 7-day fast, and a 6-day fast. And on Sunday, people brought stuff in, and we ate after it was over with, right? And now as kids, we only fasted like 2 or 3 days, but best believe on Sunday, I ate everything they put in front of me. I don't care what it was. It could have been steak, whatever, because that not understanding how to properly ease back in. Now the adults did it the right way because they had light hors d'oeuvres. They'd have something light and nothing heavy. But us as kids, we were just trying to eat whatever, and then we paid for it later on that afternoon. That is a pure truth. So I think that's great that that the church is fasting. A lot of churches are doing the corporate fast now, and I feel like it's a need for it, especially in the times that we're dealing with. We got a big week coming up here this week. Not only is it MLK weekend, but the inauguration is on the 20th. Yeah. So we've got a lot of things that we have to be prepared for and set up for, just to make sure that we are spiritually connected and sound, and that discernment is kicking in. I think that's very important during the season for us to be able to discern what's going on in our nation and in our world, so we can be protected.
And what I will say is that I have learned, and this is just me as a prophetic person, what I have learned is that there are certain things that do, when you eat them, they do cloud your judgment. And I know that there's science behind that, but I can definitely tell you that the purer your temple is, the easier it is for you to just tap straight into heaven. Like, and I'm not saying, and I mean, it just makes it a lot easier for you to pray and hear and all of that. I mean, because when we were we were doing some heavy duty fasting. We would have, the church on one fast, but the leadership would be on a more intensified fast. We did like 2 weeks at a time with the church last year, but we fasted for literally, I want to say it was 90 days. We just went hard in the paint for 90 days. And, we were saying we eating grass. They was like, what you eating for dinner? Grass and pine cones. Like, I mean, we were that, that's how intense of fasting we were doing. But when I tell you that the prayer, you could watch it, and we did nightly prayer. You could watch from the beginning to when we were deepest in that fast, how the prayer it went from, working your way up in prayer and having to find, because sometimes you chase God in prayer. Everybody don't tap straight in. Sometimes you just start praying and you got to find him. And then once you find him, you're like, okay, this is what God's talking about. It went from us going from a place of like, okay, let me see, I'm going to pray about this, pray about that. That's God. That's what God wants us to talk about. It went from that to us immediately going straight to where God was talking, what God wanted to deal with, straight to prophesying, straight to having visions, and seeing and calling stuff out and all of that. It evolved. So the scripture even tells us that these come by fasting and praying. So I think that it really, as you mature in your walk and as you want to ascend the hill of the Lord, the type of food and dietary, diet that you have to adjust it to get to certain levels in God. You just have to.
Correct. Well, because there's a heaviness with a lot of foods. There's a heaviness, and how can you really give your all if you're feeling heavy, if you're feeling that weight of the food in your system? So I definitely agree that the fasting does help, especially spiritually, being able to connect. But yeah, so we'll see how this journey goes. I'm not gonna push myself. Like the fast is great. It's definitely gonna be a modification of food moving forward for me, but I'm not gonna push myself to the point because I have this athletic mindset, unfortunately, that makes me feel like I'm unstoppable. But at today at 36, I realize that I gotta slow down. Well, not that I have to slow down, but I have to make sure that I'm not overexerting myself. I don't want to, it's great to be out here and working out, but I'm not trying to work my body so hard that it gives out on me.
Right.
We got to use wisdom in these kind of things.
Yeah, you got to think about it. We not, this ain't 16-year-old Tara that could run a mile in 8 minutes. This is 34-year-old Tara who is going to take 16 minutes to do a mile.
Well, praise the Lord that you were able to do 8 minutes at all, because I had never seen no 8-minute mile from me.
Well, here's the thing: a mile, the actual time I think for a mile, we were supposed to be at 6 minutes when we were that age, and I was like, I ain't gonna never be there. I ain't gonna never be there. 8 minutes I could do, but I was never gonna be at 6. That was out of the question.
Now you put me on a basketball court and tell me to play a game, I can do that. I'll probably do a mile in a game like it's nothing. But to actually tell me to run, I was like, what? Ain't nobody bothering me. Why am I running for? Like, what do I need I need a presidential document that says that I can run a mile? I'm not getting nothing for this. So, yeah, but what you got going on over there?
Nothing much, but let's see, what else were we talking about tonight? We talked about talked about what I wanted to talk about was the fact that DC looks like a war zone right now. Have you seen pictures of DC currently?
I've avoided it.
All of the buildings are boarded up.
Yeah, I've avoided it.
It's crazy.
The way I feel right now is this. If I'm gonna be honest, I am really feeling unprotected in the world. Now, my household is protected. I'm protected. But when I go out into the world, I feel like anything can pop off at any time. Especially, with everything going on at the Capitol. That's supposed to be not even that. It's supposed to be a recognized location for not only unity but conversation.
Right.
And instead of it being for unity and conversation, that representation now is about slaughter, pain, frustration, and anger. And that's where it's getting sad for me. It's not about the people anymore. Like it's not about all of us, because in the Constitution it says for the people, right? So we're supposed to be for the people, but there's no people. It's individuals making decisions based upon their careers right now, and it's really sucky that we can't have them. They're supposed to represent me and have a conversation on my behalf about how I feel about what's going on, and I don't feel like any of our voices are being heard. Whether it's red or blue, I feel like both of them have their own agendas right now.
I agree. We'd be remiss if we did not acknowledge that there are issues on both sides of the table. A lot of times people want to point and just say, oh, it's red, oh, it's blue. No, there are issues on both sides of the table. And honestly, this is just my personal opinion. I don't know if it'll ever happen in our lifetime, but I feel like political parties should just be completely removed. There shouldn't be a Republican Party. There shouldn't be a Democratic Party. There shouldn't be libertarians. There shouldn't be the Tea Party. There shouldn't be any type of party at all. It should be candidates running for office who have the ability to get the vote of the people. Like, I don't care if you're a Republican. I don't care if you're a Democrat. I don't care how many funds you raise to be able to do your campaign. What I care about is, do you care about the issues that concern me? And I think a lot of times people get voted into office based off of popularity and not based off the content of their character or off of their ability to get a task done or speak for the people. And
but see, you can't see. We are a people that have to have titles and separation, because because if you take away that, then you got to take away Baptist, Pentecostal, Free Will Missionary Baptist, Apostolic Fellowship. I mean, you got to take away all these different, because that's the only way we know how to identify ourselves is by parties. And that's the sad
And I'm
part.
glad that you said that, because in the back of my head, that's what I was thinking about. I'm like, the world, a lot of times we say that we are not a reflection, the world is not a reflection of the church, but absolutely it is.
100%.
The world gets everything that it does from us. We do all this different sectioning off, which brings me to another point. This is kind of off topic, but on topic at the same time. What is with this need to be accepted or to be donned by these older like people? And what I mean by that is, and I'm trying to break it down as quickly and as simply as I can. When you look at these political parties, like we'll use the Democratic Party. Joe Biden and all of them ran, they did their campaigns or whatever. And even though Joe Biden had won the popular vote or whatever, when they were running, just to get the nomination, it still had to be like approved by a committee. It's like they had to give him a head nod and say, yeah, we'll back you, Joe Biden, before he could even announce himself as the candidate of the Democratic Party. Same thing for in the church. I feel like in the church, a lot of times God can call you. God can call you, and you have to present yourself, and you have to, in order for you to get a platform, and I'm not talking about like your local platform. I'm talking about for you to actually get on a stage and be like, this is the message that God gave me to give to the masses. Mm-hmm. A lot of times in church, you see this like cliquish mentality where it's like you got to get in with the right people in order to get connected to do. And I'm like, but I just thought that God told everybody to spread the gospel. I didn't know that there was a whole, political background to spreading the gospel of Jesus Christ.
Listen, so on that note, all right, Lord, let me say this so people don't get up. No, I don't even care. So listen, when I was younger, the church that we were at, they had a vote for the deacons, right? Mm-hmm. Everybody came together and they voted on the deacons in the church. And the thing that always astonished me was these people got these titles, but the ones who didn't get the titles and they didn't get voted in still was doing the work. It's like you're giving somebody something for your own personal recognition. Like that's how you attach yourself. Well, I voted him and I thought he's going to be a great deacon. But the same thing, the people who didn't get voted in are still coming to church on Sundays, still sowing seeds, still helping people when they need help, still ministering, still preaching the gospel. So you got this title for what? It's for the comfort of the people. Yeah, like because like I mean they all sat in the corner by themselves. Like, I'm saying this as my parents were a deacon and deaconess. Like that's who they were. But I still didn't understand it because there were still people in the ministry who still did the assignment. Now they weren't on the ins and outs of the finances. And that's fine. Not everybody wants to be a part of the finances. Nobody wants to know all that stuff. But at the same time, Ministry had to take place. So if ministry is taking place, I mean, I get it and I understand biblically why we were supposed to have these positions. I get that. But that's when they were in chaos. That's when they were in disorder. If you already have order in your church, do you need a deacon? Do you need like if the people in your ministry, excuse me, are actually already doing what they need to do and everything is properly structured, is that required? No, because the word put deacons in line to get the church in order, to make sure that those who were the widows were taken care of, the needy were taken care of. Like that's what their position was at that time because it was a need. If you don't need it, why are you doing it? And that goes to to politics. There's been so many positions created for a time when it was needed, and now it's not needed. Why do we still have how many different people chairmen of transportation do you need?
I agree.
You know what I mean? Like how many? So I'm with you. I don't think it's going to be possible to get rid of the parties, but
Oh, I know
I
it
do
isn't, but I'm just saying
I
that's just
understand the
personal opinion.
principle of it, though. The principle makes sense. Like when I was younger, I always wanted to run for office, and as I've gotten older and I've seen what goes on, even with my local area, my local county and city council members, like just seeing the things that they have to go through and deal with. For me, it's like okay, but sometimes you get lost in the sauce and you forget about the proper agenda that you had. And so yeah, I get it. It makes sense. It's logical, but we will probably never see that again unless there's an apocalypse that comes. But by that time, I'm already gone. So
Listen,
ain't no worries here.
that great getting up morning.
I'm good.
Listen to listen. What we not gonna do is be around to see that
At all.
at all.
At all.
So did anybody release any new music? Any new music out there in the streets this week?
Nothing that I listened to. Nothing that was grabbed my attention. I'm still stuck on Jasmine. Givon, have you heard him yet? Givon, you gotta look him on. Giveon. It's Give On. Yeah, it's Give On.
So
really dope
everybody
artist.
got homework.
He's a baritone, by the way. He's one of the rare male baritones that actually can kill an R&B beat. Most of them need to sing gospel and call it a day. Because baritones are not R&B is not designed for maybe neo, a little jazz maybe, but R&B not so much. So you had mentioned something earlier, and I'm gonna pick on you just because I want to pick on you. So is there a boo in the realm lately, or we still rocking the singleism? Like what exactly is going on? Is it you and Jesus alone? Like I'm just curious.
Nah, it's not me and Jesus alone. I am still booed up with the boo that I revealed to the saints back when we did
I didn't know that.
The podcast, whenever we did the podcast last year sometime.
That was last year. Okay,
yeah,
well praise the Lord.
Yeah, I am booed up with the boo.
Praise the Lord. Maybe we gotta have Boo on one day.
I asked Boo if he would come on, and he's like, nah.
Nah, Boo ain't got no choice.
Nah.
He ain't got no choice.
He has a choice.
What we should do is do a FaceTime with him and not tell him that we on.
Nah, y'all not about to get me cussed out.
I would do that. I'm petty like that. Sorry.
Yeah, you are. I'm glad you realize that it's you that is petty like that.
I don't mind it. I don't mind my pettiness.
And it's not an issue of not wanting to show him or anything like that because
no.
That's bad. But I don't know. I think the first thing, because you guys, I don't know if y'all know or if we even mentioned it, but I do Misfit Mondays on my page. Mm-hmm. And the first place that we are going to do something as a couple is going to be on my Misfit Monday page. So he
Well,
may
praise the Lord.
come over to Unapologetically Dope, but I don't know. It's up to him.
Listen,
He can decide.
I do know we need to get JK back on. We need to get Keisha back on. We probably need to get Jamar on here. If all of us are on at the same time, we will break the internet. I think that will work.
And be like shaking the table.
Like Teddy Riley did. We can break the internet. It's all good.
No, his internet just was raggedy. There was a difference. He I almost said something I wasn't supposed to say. He was on dial up while everybody else on high speed. He was still getting the phone signals in the background on his telephone. That's what sounds he was getting.
Oh, Lord have mercy. And I just want to message you because you had said your husband. I was like, okay, let's go ahead and see where Tara is this week.
I didn't hear what you said. I'm sorry.
I said, you probably texting Boo now.
I am. I actually am. So that's why I was like, what'd you say?
Yeah, you need to tell Boo we recording and he need to wait.
Never.
Oh, wow.
Never.
See, that's why Boo need to come on. Y'all can have y'all conversation while we on podcast. And then just resolve the whole issue. Then I know who you talking to.
Okay, listen, sir. Why you all in my Kool-Aid, all in my mix?
Hey,
what's going on in your river?
This is what it is. Cricket? So this is what it is. I am private.
What's going on
we know Jamont State is very private. Mr. Evo keeps his life to himself.
So that means
when it comes, I'm not in no entanglement.
Got it.
I ain't in no entanglements. Don't call me Austin.
I didn't say entanglement. I said entertaining. That means that there are conversations. Let me turn on my prophetic gift.
Well,
that means that there are conversations.
Jesus is revealing right now.
Huh?
I said Jesus is revealing right now. That's what season I'm in. He's revealing things to me. He's directing my path. He's giving me the wisdom and the knowledge that I need for this journey. All I know is, Lord, help the woman that got to deal with me. That's all I can say. Tara, tell Bay you recording.
Listen.
Yo, tell Bay you recording.
I just did. Okay.
That's trifling. Tell him that's trifling.
No, it's not trifling.
You know what? I'm glad.
Listen, me and Bay are trying to make some arrangements that are pertinent to our future. So chill.
I'm gonna say it like this. I am very glad, even though I'm giving you a hard time, I'm very glad that you guys are communicating well, that it is blossoming and growing. I pray that God really orders your steps in everything that occurs between you and Bay, and that there are no toes that get stubbed, no tires that get plugged, and no windows that get busted. That is my prayer for you.
You trying to say my Bay crazy? Because I would never do that.
No, well, I don't know, T. I feel like a little ratchet can come out of you if something goes left.
Never.
Listen, people who say that like, never. No, not me. Y'all the ones we gotta worry about. Yep. Y'all the ones we got to worry about.
Never.
Tara,
listen,
transparent moment.
I'm the first time hitman. Been messed around and did something to myself.
Tara, first, be transparent. When you was upset with a certain somebody, when you was talking to them, what would you used to do, Tara?
When I was upset with a certain somebody and I was talking to them, what did I used to do?
And they upset you.
The worst I could do is block your telephone number.
No, you changed your whole number. Changed your. How many times did you change your whole number? I'd be like, T, how come I can't get in contact with you? I had to change my number.
Every time I break up, I change. Listen, it's so bad now. It's so bad now that I just thought about this. I had changed my number and shot it to my goddad, and he was like, "Which nigga is it now?" And I was like, "What?"
Yes, That's what it means.
Wait, but no, I had changed my number because I relocated. It wasn't even about a dude for real. I had changed my number because I relocated, and he was like, "Oh, I just was saying because, every year or
That's
two
the
we get a new
MO.
number from you, and it's usually because some dude."
What you would do is give them a long message of why they ain't nothing, and then you change the number before they can reply.
That's it. You send them that long beep, and before they can send a response, the number you have dialed is no longer in service. Please hang up and try your call again. Message TS135.
Your cutoff game is brutal.
My cutoff game is strong. Okay,
it's brutal. It's strong and brutal. It's strong, and it probably make one of them brothers feel like, dang,
listen,
she really blocked her number.
Like in my head, after I decide to move on from a guy, I feel like they start playing that Ty Tribbett song. Tell me what can I do? Cause I can't live without you. I can't.
Yeah, and so you create the separation period.
Listen,
but I'm glad. I'm just messing with you. I'm glad all is well in your world, and I'm glad that you're really excuse me, this water is getting to me. I'm glad that you're enjoying it, and I'm glad that
my prayer is that things will continue on the path that they're on, and that maybe someday soon we won't address me as Mistrust anymore.
Okay, I'm still gonna call you Mistrust. I don't know about nothing else.
If my last name changes,
I'm gonna
need you to call me Mrs. Scott. That's my last name. Thank you very much.
When we're not on here, you could get that. But when you on here, you will forever be the real T Trust.
That whole thing
or I'm gonna call you the nickname that I've been calling you for years, and it's just gonna rock that. Oh, see, I wasn't saying it live, but okay, we saying it live.
No problem with it. Listen, I am a whole grown woman, ordained and everything, and
we calling you Muffin.
Like, look at Muffin prophesying. Okay.
It is
Girl,
funny.
Muffin was praying hard the other night. You see Muffin online? I'd be like, Lord Jesus.
I ran into one of my homeboys that I work. He works with the same company that I work for, and I ran into him. He was like, "Jelly," and I was like, "God,
really? Out here in these streets, you just gonna announce the Jelly?"
Man. I'm a whole grown man. I was actually dressed up this day. He's like, "Jelly," I was like, "Yo, let's go." But it kind of puts a joy in you because it reminds you of your youthfulness. Yeah. I'm not old yet. I'm getting there in time. Probably not another 60 years from now. I feel old, but
like I'm 95. Stop calling me Jelly.
Yeah, stop calling me Jelly. Cause ain't nothing jiggling now. By this time, everything is flopping. ain't no jelly around here. Oh man. What else you got, T?
What else do I have?
You got a moment of clarity, so you can go ahead and be texting with Bay.
My moment of clarity. My moment of clarity. I posted this on Facebook earlier, and this is something that it's not necessarily my moment of clarity, but it's something that I do want to say to people. Please stop sitting under ministries and ministerial staff that verbally abuse you because your title does not match theirs. I think that in church, a lot of us, because I've been seeing this trend lately where, and people think it's cute when ministers post a status, somebody says something awry in the comments, and then the minister claps back at what's said, and people applaud the clap back. And it's like, but what happens when you don't agree with what they say and they clap back at you? At what point are we going to stop thinking that it's cool just because you're in a leadership position to talk to the flock any kind of way? because at the end of the day, I feel like there's a way to rebuke somebody, and then there's a way to just like be just rude and disrespectful. Like
Correct.
you don't
Correct.
like there's a
It's
difference.
proper.
And I think that just because you have a title, you still need to check your attitude at the door. It don't give you the right just because you are apostle, prophet, evangelist, teacher, pastor. It don't give you the right just because that's your title to talk to people any kind of way. Because as the scripture says, such were some of you. So don't be looking at them as if they beneath you. Because if you don't have, because at the end of the day, you're beneath them. The fact that you have a title literally positions you beneath them, because if you don't have nobody to serve, you don't have a purpose. I think that people forget that, because Jesus came to serve. He didn't come to be lifted up, because if he wanted to, he could have came and just made him a throne and sat on it, and people could have came and worshiped him all day. But that's not how it worked out. He actually went to the highways and byways, hung out with the sinners, and he served the people. So don't think because you got a title, people are supposed to serve you. You serve the people. I just think that a lot of leaders need to, and that's my little prophet rant. I think a lot of leaders need to check themselves and check who called them and who sent them. Because if you are called and you were sent to sit low, not sit high. So that's just my little moment of clarity, my little rant. Because it's vexing my spirit to see. And then on top of that, the flock is so confused and lost that they applaud it. And the fact that they're applauding it is because they have not been changed themselves. A lot of them are still dibbling and dabbling in sin. So they don't even realize that it is ungodly to be clapping back.
I
when
agree.
the Bible tells you to turn the other cheek, why are you clapping back?
I think that definitely is an issue. And I'm not even gonna say with only people who are in position or authority, but I think that's us as a humanity. We have no humbleness within inside of us. We all feel like we know best for everything and everybody. And that is a downfall that we're going to start. We're seeing it already. We're seeing the downfall of not being able to properly be corrected and respond with a proper response. We want to respond with, well, the jerking of the necks, the pointing of the fingers, the fist fighting, and we don't want to say, you know what, you're right, and I apologize if I offended you.
Absolutely.
Let me step back and
Everybody want
figure
to walk
things
around
out.
with that "who gonna check me" boo mentality, but
Yeah.
somebody has to check you, because you'd hate for God to check you.
Listen,
I'd rather man
I want to
check
be
me than God check
checked.
me.
Yeah, I want to be checked now, so I don't have to be checked later. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want you to call me out on the floor and say, this is what you're doing wrong. And me as a person, I'm supposed to be able to, especially if it's leadership or somebody within ministry who I know the only intent is for me to grow. Their intent is for me to be happy. Their intent is for me to grow and learn and gain knowledge. Their intent is not to destroy me. Now, you can tell when somebody's trying to destroy you, and I get you clapping back at that point. But if it's not that way, then don't receive it that way. Stop. Take the me out of everything. That's the problem with people. They're so worried about me, and they forget about ministry.
Right.
Which ministry is serving, and it doesn't say serve one individual. It says serve all. So that's what's up. That's a good one.
And I have a caveat for that one. I got another a 1B. That was 1A. So I dealt with the leader. Let me deal with the flock. Dear sheep that are being shepherded, stop following everybody and their mama in an attempt to gain clout or recognition, because these people have a target audience who they are accountable for, whose souls they are watching out for. And you trying to connect to everybody and their mama in an attempt to build your platform, or an attempt to get somewhere that God has not strategically sat you or positioned you, or you may not even be ready for. I need you to dial it back a bit. Stop doing that. It's not cute. It's not cool. Grow where you are planted. Stop trying to act like a tumbleweed or a daffodil that somebody blew on and just let your little seeds go everywhere. No, grow, be a nice rose bush. Grow where you are planted. And when it's time for harvest or when it's time for you to be replanted somewhere else, let the gardener, the master gardener, let God himself move you to that new place. But stop acting like a dandelion that was just blown in the wind, trying to go every which way, chasing, trying to find a place. Be steadfast, unmovable where you're supposed to be. Be planted. Like, you following everybody, going to everybody's conferences, going to everybody's movements, everybody your pastor, everybody's your cousin, everybody's your uncle, your brother, your father in the ministry. Go somewhere and sit down and learn of God. And when the time comes, in due season, if you faint not, you'll reap a harvest. When it's time for you to ascend the hill of the Lord and be on that platform and be who God has called you to be, it'll happen. Stop it.
But people want the instant gratification. That's the problem. There's no with the issues like with Cash App, with Zmello, like Venmo. We are so ready for instant. Give it to me now. Don't wait till later.
And I want it now.
Give it to me now. You know what I mean? Like, that's how we are in the spirit. Lord, you gave me something. I want it now. I want that instant success.
I want that instant gift, and I want to prophesy now.
Yeah, like, come on, man, get out of here. Like, you got to understand, like, Jesus literally had to wait for his time. There was one came before.
He could have came on the scene. He could have came on the scene and did everything he wanted to do. But literally, when he went to the temple as a child, he got rebuked for exposing himself out of season. This is me rebuking the body of Christ for exposing yourself out of season. Go back and sit down. I know you want to be, about your father's business, but this ain't the time. Go back.
But it's not even about their father's business. It's about their own agendas.
Their own agenda, exactly.
That's the problem. Like, I think about us doing Unapologetically Dope. It was organically on time. It wasn't something that we planned. It wasn't something that we wanted to do for our own glory. It was something that we said, you know what? God gave us this avenue. We have this ability. We connect well. We have great conversation. And the doors just started opening. Things started happening. It started flowing, and it became natural. And it became the way that, because we can talk about everything from secular to Christian, and we're still ourselves and not in anybody else's box. God gave us an avenue at the right time to do things, and we have to just be wise in that. That's just the truth of it all. So,
because real talk, I had started, like maybe back in 2006. I had a YouTube page. I had a good following on my YouTube page as well. But what I was doing was more of a secular kind of pathway. And I knew people who are now very successful YouTube bloggers who I could have connected with, and I could have went down an entire avenue, but it would not have led me to God. It would have literally drove me away from my purpose. I might have been, if you watch different YouTubers, you may know about Lipstick Alley. You may know about who's another one that's good. You may know Forest Rocks. You may know Much Love from Kentucky. You may know Justin J, 1232. A lot of these big YouTubers, we were all doing YouTube pages. Kevin and Mikhail, we were all doing pages at the exact same time. But because of the call that God had on my life, he stopped me like mid ascension and redirected my focus. So it's all about, you may have the right idea, but is it the right time to execute it? And are you doing it the way God wants you to do it?
Correct. We have to be intentional. Now, that's my moment of clarity. I just want us to be intentional. The thing that I discovered, even in conversation with people, is my conversation has to be intentional with you. We're talking for a purpose and a reason. I'm not talking just to talk to you. Now, I love to talk. I have a gift of gab, but am I wasting your and my time in conversation, or am I utilizing the conversation so that we can both grow? I have to be intentional in that. I have to be intentional in what I eat. I have to be intentional in the time I go to bed, because I have to be conscious of my body and what my body needs. I have to be intentional about every move that I make in my life. And so my moment of clarity came when I realized that I was wasting time. When I was not only wasting my time, I'm wasting other people's time. And that is not, God can't honor a waste. I needed to make sure that I'm properly utilizing the thing that he gave me. So in everything that I do, I'm properly using time. And sometimes people get left out of time. And that's okay. I understand it. It's not always great. It's not a great feeling. But if the intent is there and I'm intentionally doing what I'm supposed to do, then it's not about my feelings. It's not about anybody else's feelings. It's about, am I on assignment? Am I literally using time the best way possible so that I can magnify what God's given me? I don't want to be like that guy who got the money, dug up a hole, and put it in there. Because guess what? That money didn't grow, and time was wasted. The time that he could have been using it to amplify and make more money was wasted because it was sitting in the ground. It was sitting in dirt. That time was wasted. I don't want to be that person. So my moment of clarity is to be intentional in all you do, who you connect with, the people that you talk to. Like, I've been on a delete or I'm not accepting your friend request motive, because if you're not beneficial to conversation with me and you're not beneficial to what I need in my life and what God has ordained me to be, then we don't need to connect. It's not that serious, because those who need to connect, and if you're using your time wisely, when you connect with them, you will definitely see a great harvest from that connection. That's
I feel
it.
you. That's what's up. Well, I hope you guys have enjoyed this week's episode of Unapologetically Dope. We told you guys that we're going to hit y'all with one every week. We're going to try to maintain our consistency. We're going to keep these episodes to around about an hour 15, hour 20, if the Lord leads. But tonight we did pretty good. We're at 56 minutes and 39 seconds. So woohoo to us. If you have any questions, comments, sarcastic remarks, rebuttals that you would like for us to address on next episode, feel free to email us at unapologeticallydope19@gmail.com. We do check that inbox, and we will be more than happy to answer your question up on the live. And we will keep you anonymous if you want to be anonymous. Again, that email address is unapologeticallydope19@gmail.com. All one word. Anything else from you, Mr. Ebo?
Nah, hit us up on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. If you are one of those people who are in dang, I just forgot, in the chat. What's that? What's the chatty? T?
Chatty chat.
Clubhouse. If you're on Clubhouse, like us. It's Mr. Evil 84. I think you are still the real Trust.
The real T Trust.
Follow us. Let's have some conversation. Let's create some dialogue. There's a wealth of knowledge on there, but we also have a wealth of knowledge to give. So that's all. That's my 2 cents.
Well, as always, we just want you guys to remember you are unapologetically
dope.
All right,
Peace
bye
out.
guys.